I remember the first day I had a new EMT as my partner, meaning we're going to work together like day in, day out, week after week. I wanted to make sure anytime I had a new hire EMT as a partner, I could kind of train them up to be the best EMT possible because a lot of times they had no experience. So this is exactly what I did. The first thing was I want to make sure they were comfortable with all the equipment. So once I checked my ALS gear, I wanted to make sure that my partner was up to par with the main oxygen, the spare oxygen, moving the stretcher, moving the stair chair, all of the immobilizing equipment, all the BLS equipment, knowing where everything is in the ambulance. And this applies to whether it's a new hire EMT, if you're training an EMT student, or you're precepting, whatever it is. This is the little training program that I would have these new hire EMTs go through. So first, I want to make sure, and I would do this before shift, in between calls, and after calls. In between calls is such a monumental, relaxed time to go through equipment. Use that time and make sure you're comfortable. It's not the time to do that when you're en route to a call with a real patient. In between calls, you can go in the back of the ambulance, start practicing, going through stuff that's so beneficial. The pre-call talk is so important, meaning if we get dispatched to a lights and sirens chest pain call, or we get dispatched to a lights and sirens motor vehicle accident, we want to make sure in our head we're driving in that call, we are communicating en route to the call about not only the notes from dispatch, but also, what are the worst case scenarios of a chest pain? What are the worst case scenarios of that motor vehicle accident? What equipment are we going to bring on scene right now? What do we expect if it's maybe a more routine call? And what should we expect if it's the worst case scenario call at a trauma or a medical? This is called the pre-call talk. So you want to talk to this and you want to know, you are in charge of this new hire EMT. You want to make sure that they are aware of what you expect out of them on the call, and they need to know what you're going to do and what they expect when you get there. Your roles need to be defined. The great partnerships in EMS that you may have or you're going to develop are going to come from this great rapport you get where people are in their roles and they're doing them very well. Driving the ambulance in EMT school is very, very overlooked because we have to pass in our EMT and we have to get all our skills in order. But driving the ambulance is half of EMS. We have to get to the call and then get to the hospital, right? Exactly. So you need to learn as a new hire EMT the main roads. So you want to train, if you're a preceptor, you want to train your preceptee on where the main roads are. Show them around the hospitals. You want to make sure they know the ins and outs, right? The main routes in your city, the main streets in your city. Maybe there's a back road way to get somewhere that only you know. You want to share that. Be open with your new hire EMT and you want to share this information with them. Again, when we're in between calls, we can do this. And again, imagine you're with somebody for, let's say they're your new partner for the next few weeks. All that time in between calls you can use to build up your partner and build that trust, but make them better. That's what you want to do. Part of the new hire EMT's journey is going to be assisting with ALS, helping out a paramedic on a critical call. So what I would do, you're there with your new hire EMT, walk them in the back of the ambulance and go through your ALS gear. Show them your medications. Show them what is in your set of gear. Go through the heart monitor. Make sure they know where to put the stickers for a 12-lead EKG and for a basic EKG. NEBS, CPAP. Make sure they know how to set these things up, right? Make sure they understand, have an awareness level. They're not going to be doing the interventions, but have an awareness level of these needles over here are for intramuscular. These over here are for IVs, right? So just having an understanding makes it so much easier because now you have a competent assistant with you on these critical calls because you never know where you're going to be called to in EMS. After working with a ton of EMT students and working alongside new hire EMTs, you will find that when a student gets out of EMT school, they do not know anything about prescription medications. Again, because we got to focus on skills, we got to focus on NREMT. These are the things you got to teach while you're precepting. So here it is. Every single call, the patient may get a med list, right? let's say you're going to a skilled nursing facility and they give you the paperwork and it's a long medication list. Every single call that I can, whether it's 2 or 3 meds or 10 to 15 meds, I'm going through when I'm doing my chart, every single medication with that new hire EMT or that EMT student. Why? Because I want them to know the med list cold. I want them to understand it. I want them to look sharp in front of the patients, right? I want to make sure that if that patient overdoses on a medication, they know what effect might occur, right? Patient overdoses on Norvasc. What do you expect, right? Well, the blood pressure is going to be dropping. The heart rate's going to be dropping. Did you know that? Right? That's the med list. If you want to be as confident as possible when you get hired on an ambulance service or you're in school right now or getting ready for national registry at any level, EMT, advanced EMT, paramedic, first link in my description is my video vault. It's exactly what I give to my students. And what you want to do with this is watch the videos in the course and ask questions in our private student community group, and we're in 1,000 strong. This is how my students get prepared for school, national registry, and out on the road and become great EMS providers in their community. You can do it too. First link in the description. I will catch you in the next video. Let's go.